Hi friends, today our topic is image formation, image formation and the derivation of curved surface, curved surface formula. This is our today's topic. Okay, this topic related to the refraction of light by curved surfaces. Okay, to understand this one, we have to choose a curved surface. I have to choose a curved surface. Before that, I am taking one line. So this is the line. On this line, here I am taking one curved surface. That is, this is the curved surface. This is the curved surface. The center of the curvature we are calling as a pole. The center of the curvature we are calling as a pole. Okay, this is the rarer medium and this is the denser medium. Now, this shaded region is a denser media and the unshaded region is a rarer media. The refractive index of the rarer media I am saying here N1 and the denser media I am saying N2. Okay, now we have to take this is the center of this sphere, that is C. Okay, and we have to place one object. This is the object, this is the point object. We are placing that one. From the point object, the rays are directly coming like this through the pole. So through the pole the rays are not deviated and they are traveling along the principal axis direction, and let us assume one more ray. The ray is traveling in this direction. So this is the direction. This is another ray. That means this is the second ray. This second ray is making some angle with the principal axis. That is we are saying as alpha. And here that means this point I am saying as A. At the A is the interface of the two medias. Okay, at this point the light will enter into the media. Automatically it will deviate. That means it will take the it will participate in the refraction. So to obtain the refracted ray, just we have to draw the normal from the center of the curvature. This is the normal. For this point. As we know that when the light rays are traveling from the rarer medium to the denser medium, the refracted ray travels towards the normal. Okay, towards the normal and reaches our principal axis at the point I. That means here I is the intersect point of the two rays. Undeviated line is reaching here and the deviated ray, that means refracted ray, is also coming here and it is making angle with the principal axis is gamma. And this normal is making with the principal axis, that is beta. This is the refracted ray. This is the incident ray. The incident ray makes angle with the A, that is we are calling as theta 1. Then we have to draw a normal from the point A. Just we have to draw the normal. Just we have to name that one as a N. That is N. And here the refracted ray making some angle with the normal, that is theta 2. This is theta 2. Now we have to choose the points from the pole up to the object, which is equals to the object distance. Object distance we have to be denote with U. And from the pole up to the image, the distance I am saying, image distance I am saying as a v. From the pole to the center, it is equals to the radius of curvature. That means radius, that is, here I am saying that radius is r. Okay, now we have to derive the relation between these. What are those? Object distance. Okay, PO is the object distance. PO is the object distance, and PO is the object distance, and PI is the image distance. What is that? Image distance. And PC is the radius of curvature. N1 and N2 are the refractive indices of two medias. Refractive indexes of two medias. Okay, now our aim is to be, we have to derive the relation between the object distance. Object distance is here u, and the image distance, that is v, and the radius of curvature, that is r. Now we have to derive the relation between the u, v, r and n1 and n2. Regarding that one, we have to be choose triangles. Okay, from the triangle ACO. What is ACO? ACO. From this triangle, the theta 1 equals to, how we can write is, theta 1 equals to alpha plus beta. And from triangle ACI, this is triangle. From this triangle, beta equals to theta 2 plus gamma. So here I am writing that is theta 2 equals to beta minus gamma. Suppose if we take this one this side, it will gives minus. That means beta minus gamma. Okay, we have to be keep that equations we will use in the next step. According to Snell's law, what we know is, according to Snell's law, what we know that is, the formula for that is n1 sin theta 1 equals to n2 sin theta 2. n1 sin theta 1 equals to n2 sin theta 2. Now we have to substitute theta 1, theta 2 values. Theta 1 means n1 sin of alpha plus beta equals to n2 sin of beta minus gamma. Suppose if these two rays are very close to the principal axis, then we can take them as a parallel rays, and these are also called as paraxial rays. Whatever the approximation here we are taking, that approximation is called as paraxial approximation. So here, suppose both rays are paraxial rays. We can take for small values of theta, means theta, okay, sin theta equals to theta. According to this one, here this is very small, that's why this one equation called as one. First equation we will write like this: n1 into sin of alpha plus beta, that means sin theta, which is equals to theta means alpha plus beta, which is equals to n2 into sin of beta minus gamma, that means beta minus gamma. Okay, we will do the cross multiplication. So n1 into alpha plus n1 into beta, which equals to n2 into beta minus n2 into gamma. n2 into gamma. This equation we can call as equation number 2. This equation we can call as equation number 2. Just you have to keep this diagram in your mind, and these are the equations. Okay. Since all angles are small, all angles are small means for our convenience I am using this chord. Okay, here the alpha is small and also beta is small and also gamma is small. That's why there we have taken as a sign of alpha plus beta equals to alpha plus beta. Sign of beta minus gamma equals to beta minus gamma. So same like that, for this triangle we need to obtain the tan formula also. What is the tan formula? Okay, tan from this triangle, tan alpha equals to what is tan formula? Opposite by adjacent. Opposite by adjacent means alpha means opposite means an by adjacent means on or no. That equals to tan alpha. For small values of tan also tan 0 0 and tan 1 degree it is also almost 0 point something. That's way for small values of tan also we have to take same alpha. An by no equals to alpha. So same like that, if I obtain for the triangle, that means tan beta. This is the beta. For tan beta means opposite. Opposite means here an by nc. That equals to beta. Same like that, tan gamma. Triangle, which triangle you have to take? Triangle gamma. Triangle AIN. From the triangle opposite means AN by NI. Which is equals to gamma. Now these three equations, that means alpha, beta, gamma values, we have to substitute in above equations. Substitute in equation 2. What is the equation 2? n1 alpha plus beta. That means there we have to do the multiplication. So if we do that multiplication, what we got is, what is that equation? n1 alpha. Instead of alpha, what we have to write? an by n0. an by no plus n1 into beta. Beta means an by nc, which equals to n2 into beta. Beta means an by nc minus n2 into an by ni. Okay, here in this diagram what we are saying is these are very small. That means alpha, beta, gamma, these are very small. So whenever these are very small, okay, whenever alpha, beta, gamma are very small, automatically this n approaches p. That means for a parallel race, okay, after substituting we can get, that means an. So how do we take that one as a common, and we will remove that. So suppose alpha, beta, gamma are small. This is the approximation we are taking. So p equals to, we can take as p equals to n. That means an is cancelled. That means n1 by n means p. That means po plus n1 by PC equals to N2 by PC minus N2 by Pi. N2 by Pi. Okay, we know the values of PO. What is that? O. PC, that is PC, that is R. And we know the value of PA also. While we are substituting, there is a sign convention is important. So according to the sign convention, this equation I am calling as a equation 3. According to the sign convention, okay, always we have to take from the pole. The values always we should be take from the pole, and also if the rays are along the direction of incident ray, this is the incident ray, we can take it as a positive. Okay, very important points I am going to be discuss here. That is, all distances are measured from the pole. And distance measured along the direction of the incident ray are taken as positive. Distance taken along the incident ray is positive. That means distance taken opposite to the incident ray is negative. So same like that, distance is measured upward direction. That means height measured vertically upward taken as positive, and towards the down we have to take it as negative. Okay, this is how we should be keep on our mind. Here PO, what is the PO? PO is object distance. So is it in the positive direction or negative direction? PO, but incident ray is in this direction. That's why we have to be take negative according to this one opposite. That's way minus Q. And PO after what we have to take is PA. PA is the image distance. So image distance in which direction? That is along the incident ray direction. PI, this is incident ray, so along this direction, that's why we can take V. Okay, PO, PI. Then PC, what is the PC? PC is the radius of curvature. So PC is also along the incident ray direction. That's why we have to take R. Now we have to substitute these values. That means we have to call this one equation number 4. These values into this one. Finally we can get the formula. Now fourth equations substitute in equation 3. Therefore what we will get is, if we substitute those ones, what we can get is minus n1 by u plus n2 by b, which is equals to n2 by r minus n1 by r. That implies, just we have to write this one this side. That means n2 by v minus n1 by v, which equals to, we can take it as a common r. That implies n2 minus n1. This is the formula for curved surfaces. where n1 and 2 are the refractive indices and u is the opposite distance and v is the image distance and r is the radius of curvature. For example, this formula can be used for plane surfaces. For the plane surfaces, plane surfaces, radius of curvature is surfaces radius of curvature is infinity. Radius of curvature, that means r equals to infinity. Whenever r equals to infinity, 1 by r equals to 1 by infinity, that is 0. 1 by infinity is 0. Then above equation we can write like this. How is n2 by v minus n1 by u equals to 1 by r? That means 0. 0. That implies n2 by v which equals to n1 by u. This is the formula for plane surfaces. This is our concept. Thank you.